Shalom. This is Rabbi Nathan Davidovich talking to you from Efrat, Israel. We're going to talk about we're going to go over the Netivot Shalom tonight in our weekly Netivot Shalom Shir. The Parsha this week is Parsha Vayechi, and we're going to be studying from this Sefer, Netivot Shalom, the book on Bereshit. If you don't have this book, I recommend that you get this book and the series of books. They're very worthwhile having. Let's dive in. And I don't have any copies because I wait for people to tell me online that they want a copy.
Okay.
So this first of all, interesting aside, this parsha starts after Yaakov and the Shvatim came to Egypt, and this parsha starts Vayechi Yaakov be'eretz Mitzrayim. And Yaakov lived in the land of Mitzrayim, of Egypt, Sheva Rishonim, 17 years, and so on. And then it goes on to talk about the death of Yaakov. Last week's parsha, we remember that Yosef asked his brothers, Od Avinu Chai, is my father still living? And we also have the word Chai. When Yaakov found out about Yosef, what did he say? It's what he said. It says, Vayechi Ruach Yaakov, the spirit of Yaakov was revived. Where else do we have a parsha that's starting with Chaim, with life, and ends up talking about death? In fact, the end of this parsha, we talk about the death of Yosef. We're not going to get to that. Chayesora. So what is the Torah teaching us in general about these things, about life? General message about life is that it's not the death that counts. It's the life that counts. It's the connection you can make to Hashem during this life that we're talking about. So when it says in last week's parsha, Vayechi Ruach Yaakov, when Yaakov heard the news, his neshama was lifted, and actually he found himself reconnected to the Shekhinah, to the presence of God, which he had felt disconnected from for all of the years that Yosef was gone. As you remember, I'm not going to go into that. That's another subject. But you remember that Yosef, that Yaakov refused to mourn. He wouldn't accept tanchumim. We have a whole basis of condolences to people, and you have to accept them. And you mourn for a period of time, a set period of time, as our Chazal have told us. And you can't go on mourning. You got to live life. He refused to be consoled, and the reason was because he felt that the presence of God was disconnected from him, and he wouldn't believe that Yosef was really dead. And in fact, the fact that he kept that connection to Yosef is what enabled Yosef to overcome the temptations that he had in Egypt with the wife of Potiphar, because Midrash there says that when he was tempted to give in to her seductions, he saw the face of his father, and he stopped. Anyway, so that's last week. So here we are in this week. He's about to die, and he wants to bless his sons, and he's blessing the sons, different brachos, different blessings, and then he blesses his son Dan, from whom Shimshon, Samson, was descended. And the ending of his blessing is a very strange sentence. The ending of the blessing is Liishuascha kivisi Adonai. Hope for your salvation, O God. Strange thing. So some of the Meforshim talk about that and say that's a reference to Shimshon, to Samson, who will fight the Philistines and be able to be victorious and save the Jewish people. But we're going to talk about what the Netivot Shalom says about that. And we're going to begin with what the Netivot Shalom says, Li'shoascha kaviti Hashem. He says as follows, Isa b'midrash, it says in the midrash, al pasuk Li'shoascha kaviti Hashem, on this same pasuk, hakol b'kivui, everything is with hope. Yisurim b'kivui, troubles are with hope. Kedushas Hashem b'kivui, holiness, sanctifying God's name is with hope. Zechus avot b'kivui, the merit of our fathers teach us hope. Tavaso shel olam haba b'kivui, the desire of the world to come is with hope, hoping for it. Chanina b'kivui, the concept of having mercy, getting mercy from Hashem, that's, you're hoping for that. Slicha b'kivui, being forgiven, forgiveness for what you've done wrong, that's also with hope. V'chulu, and so on. Umevi psukim al kazeh, he brings many, the Midrash brings many sentences to prove this. Baf hagula hatita, the future redemption, tia b'kivui, will be with hope also. Kedivrei Yaakov Khan, as Yaakov says here, Li'shuascha kiviti Hashem. For your salvation, I am hoping. I'm hoping Hashem. Uked Matargum B'Yonatan, as the Targum Yonatan said, Leprokone de Mashiach ben David dehave ase leporke yes bnei Yisrael ulafkusan b'gulusa laporkana sechiat nafshi. I won't even try to interpret that because it's Aramaic. But we don't have to, because he goes on and explains his Meforshim, but come on a midrash. What the intent of this midrash I just read is the mishi yeshlo amuna b'tochel Hashem Yisborach. Whoever has amuna and trust in Hashem, v'hu makave umatzape liyeshua Hashem, Yeshua Hashem, and he is hoping and trusting and waiting for and expecting the salvation of Hashem. And we talked before, it's not enough to say, when they ask you, after you leave this world, were you Mitzapi Yeshua? Were you expecting Mashiach? It's not enough to say, as we go through, yeah, I believe Mashiach is going to come. But what are you doing about it? And do you really want it to come? Or are you just so satisfied with where you are? No, come a little bit later. Don't bother me now. So it's one thing to believe in Mashiach, but Mitzapi, to be ready for Mashiach, that's what it's asking. So Hareini Masig Hakol B'Kivui, everything is dependent on your hope. Afa Pish'enu Hagun Ve'enu Kadai, even though you're not fitting for it, hope for it is important. Taidei Kivui Nitzol Miyasurin, through hope, through trust and betochen in God, you are saved from troubles. Bezocha l'slicha v'chanina, and you merit forgiveness and mercy from Hashem. V'zev gam devuas Yaakov Avinu al Geulah. This is Yaakov's prophecy on the Geulah, on the ultimate redemption, when Mashiach comes. And last year, we talked about the part right before this.
It just seems
like last week. The part before this is where Yaakov says, "Hayasufu v'gidu lachem." He told us. He said to Yosef, "Gather all the children. I will tell you the end of days." And in fact, the Meforshim say the reason this parsha is a parsha stuma, it's a closed parsha. There's no space between the end letters of last week's parsha and this week's parsha, is because at that moment the Shekhinah left him and he couldn't tell what he wanted to do. But other Meforshim, Netivot Shalom, brought down, he says, no, he was really telling them what's going to happen at the end of the days. In the end of the days, you want it to come quickly. It's dependent on your getting together, and you're getting together as Sifa, gathering as Achdut, as one. Anyway, that was last year. The Af, Lo yeh kedayim aruim legula, even though you're not ready for the gula, you're not fitting for the redemption. Im yekavo legula, if you are hoping for the redemption, yamshichu aydei kivu es hagula atida, you will help bring the future redemption. Uchederech sh'anu mispalim, as we say in our prayers, ki lishuotcha kivinu kol hayom, I hope for your salvation every single day, umitzapim liyeshua, and I am looking for salvation. I'm expecting it. Hakivui v'atzpiya liyeshua zeh sod hagadul. Those two things, the hope and the expectation. I'm going to change that word to expectation. The mitzapim, the hope and the expectation of Mashiach is what will bring Mashiach. Even though you're not fitting for Mashiach to come, you will bring the redemption, and each one of us can help bring the redemption through the hope that we have in the salvation of Hashem. Kedivrei Medrash Socher Tov, as the Medrash says, on the sentence in Tehillim, says, Kova kiviti Hashem. I hope, I put my hope in Hashem, v'yet alai, and he will turn to me, v'yishma shavati, and Hashem will hear my cries. Zeh shomer HaKosev. This is what it says in Yeshayahu, in the prophet Yeshayahu, Omer Bayomahu, it'll be said on that day, Hine Elokeinu Zeh, this is our God, Kivinu Lo V'Yoshenu Labrit. Hope in Him, Labrit, hope in God, and He will save you. Ein B'Yad Yisrael, there's nothing in the hands of a Jew, Ela Sheyikavu Sheyigalam HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that you have to hope that God will redeem us. He will bring us the Geulah, redemption. B'schar kova kivisi Hashem, and the reward of hoping for Hashem. V'im osim kach noshim shenemar asher lo yavushu kovoi. If that happens, you won't be embarrassed. You won't be left out in the dark. It'll happen. The Geulah will happen. In the daily prayers, we say, before Enkel Elokeinu, we say, Kaveh El Hashem, Chazak v'yametz libecha, v'kaveh El Hashem. Hope in Hashem, make your heart strong, and hope in Hashem. My father, Rabbi Davidovich, used to say on that pasuk, what does that mean? Why does it repeat it? He says, Kaveh El Hashem, hope in Hashem. But if Hashem doesn't answer you right away, Chazak, Yametz libecha, make your heart strong, be strong, but Kaveh El Hashem, and continue hoping in Hashem. Hashem is not going to let us down, and that's what this is about. V'hinei iseh b'avodas Yisrael. It says in the Sefer Avodas Yisrael, Rav Kodesh Hamagi Mikoznitz, from the Koznitzer Rebbe, Lever Ha'inyan, to explain the Parshas Miketz ad pasuk Lishosach V'Yisi Hashem, from the beginning of the Parsha of Miketz, and then going through Vayigash, and then till here in the middle of this Parsha of Yechi, Lo Nizkar Shem Havaya, the four-letter name Yud Kei Vav Kei of Hashem is not mentioned. We know that Hashem goes by many names. Hashem, Elohim. The difference is Hashem refers to the God of mercy. Elohim refers to the God of judgment. So up until now, in these two parshas, God's name is not mentioned in the form of Yud Kei Vav Kei. If on one parsha, he says, one parsha Tetzava, the Parsha Tetzava in Shemot, Shelo Nizkar Ba Shemo Shel Moshe Rabbeinu, Moshe Rabbeinu's name isn't mentioned, And there's different reformation on it. And what happens? Nidrashu harbe drashus. There's many drashus on that as to why Moshe's name was not mentioned. From the first time that Moshe came on the scene until he died, it's the only parsha that Sava, his name was not mentioned. And that there are a lot of reformers talk about it. You remember that after the Egel Azav, God was going to destroy the whole people, and Moshe said, wipe me out from your book. Don't kill them. Why get rid of me? And some of the Meforshim say when a tzaddik says something, even though he doesn't, he's not deserving of it, it'll come to pass. So there's many drushes on that. But anyway, it's another example where Moshe's name is not mentioned. So here we have Hashem's name not mentioned, these 2.5 parshas. Kamosha Kosef Sheyesh Lever Hapela Shlo Nizkar Shem HaKadosh Havaya. We have to explain the wonder that the name of the 4-letter name of God, Yud Kei Vav Kei, is not mentioned by Parsha Vayechi, Vayigash, in those 2 parshas, V'chatzi Parsha Vayechi, and half of this parsha. And he explains as follows: the Shem Havaya, who Shem HaChesed VaRachmim. The name Yud Kei Vav Kei of God is the name of mercy and kindness. From the beginning that the exodus of the Jews into Egypt started, the Parsha Miketz, in Parsha Miketz, and Mitchalet Michalomotov Shel Paro, that started with the dreams of Paro. Shemehem Hitchilu Legalgel Galu Mitzrayim. From them, from that point, we began to talk about the exile into Egypt. With Parsha Vayigash and last week's Parsha, Shekulam Dinim, it was all about judgments. Lo Nizkar Shem Harachmim, the name of mercy is not mentioned. Va'ad Parsha Vayechi, until this Parsha, the Pasuk Lishoschok Visi Hashem, up until this Parsha, this is the first time it's mentioned, Bo Niva Yaakov Al Hagula Hatida. Here Yaakov is again prophesying on the future redemption. V'lechein Nizgalabo Shem Havaya. And therefore it was revealed the merciful name of God, Yud Kei Vav Kei. V'efshel Lahosef, we can add B'zeh Bior, another explanation. Apimama Rama Maran Admar V'esa Avram Zusilenu. He said B'Shem Rav HaKodesh Michortakov Zusilenu. He said the Mamar of Chazal. What did our sages mean when they said Bikesh Yaakov Agalut et Haketz, that Yaakov wanted to reveal the end, but he's Talka Mimenu Shechina, and the presence of God left him. The Shechina left his presence. He couldn't do it. He couldn't give prophecy. Machet Yaakov Bezeh. What kind of sin did Yaakov have? Madu Higia Lo Onesh Zeh. How did he have this kind of a punishment? That the Shechina left him. Elafish al Hagula Hatida Amar Chazal. But because of for the future redemption, our sages say in the Gemara Sanhedrin, Zachu Achishena, Lo Zachu Be'ita. If the Bnei Israel merit to have the redemption right now by their actions, it'll happen right now. But if they are not meriting, then Be'ito, it'll happen at the fixed time. We know that when Hashem created the world, there's a fixed time for everything, including the time when Mashiach is supposed to come. We can hasten that time. We can hasten that time by our actions. So, but that's what the Gemara says. If our actions merit, it'll come sooner. Otherwise, if our actions don't merit, it'll come at the end. So what happened to Yaakov? He says, if we merit, Mashiach will come, the redemption will come before the scheduled time, before the end. So since Yaakov wanted to reveal the end, Harish Savar, he must have thought, Shelo Yizku Geulah Achishena, that Bnei Israel wouldn't be worthy of redemption before that, and it had to go to the end. I mean, just think about that. Here's the holy Yaakov Avinu, Jacob, our forefather, who maybe had this thought in his mind that maybe, God forbid, Bnei Israel wouldn't reach that level of being able to bring Mashiach quicker. So because of that, Lekach Nenash, because of that, he was punished. That the presence of God left him for the moment. And that's a lesson for all of us. If Yaakov Avinu is punished for even thinking about something like that, thinking about Bnei Israel in something less than a totally positive manner, what can we say about us? What can we say about us? What can we say about our dealing with our fellow Jews, with our fellow human beings? What can we say about our judgment of other people? Right? How do we justify that? If Yaakov Avinu, the holiest of holies, the Tiferet, the Bechir, the chosen of the forefathers, if the Shekhinah left his presence for a moment because of that, do we not want to keep the presence of God with us all the time? You can learn between the lines how to do that. All of this was true until he said this sentence, Lishuascha kvisi Hashem, for your salvation I hope, God. Shabo gilu sh'af kodem hakates, lifnei hazman shall be ita. In that he revealed that we can come close to Hashem, the Mashiach can come, the redemption can come before the designated time. If we just hope in Hashem. Yesh derech l'geula. There's a way of reaching the Geulah, the redemption, mikoach hakivui, shlioscha kvish Hashem, from the power of hope, of hoping in the redemption of Hashem. Shayidei zeh, through this, even though we're not yet fitting and we're not ready for Mashiach to come, the secret, the foundation of redemption is hope. Through hoping for the salvation of God and expecting it every day, helping the Geulah every day, mamshichin es hagula. That in itself will help bring the Geulah Shlema closer. L'chein hashelat tzipita lYeshua he min hashelot miyuchedet hanitvot min adam b'tchilas dino. That's why the question of were you mitzapim lYeshua, were you expecting Mashiach, is one of the first questions that is asked to a person after he leaves this world. After he leaves this world. Shatzpia lYeshua usod hagula. The expectation, the looking for it, looking out your door every day for Mashiach to come, waiting for Mashiach to come every day. That is the sod, the secret of redemption. This is what Yaakov said, Lishuascha kivisi Hashem. Shegila b'zeh sheyesh geulat ayidei kivui. You will have redemption through hope, afilu kodem hakates, even if it's before the designated time. V'af im lo yiu ruim ligoel, even though you're not yet worthy of redemption. Sayidei shemakavim mitzapim lYeshua, through this very act of hoping and expecting the salvation, mamshichin es hageulah b'shem havaya. You are helping to bring about the redemption and the return of total mercy and rachmi. Binyan zeh shayich hein legulas haklal, ben legulas haprat. This applies. This concept applies to the general Geulah that we're all waiting for. The Geulah with coming of Mashiach, and also to the individual, redemption for each of us. We are each seeking to improve ourselves, to get to a higher level, to do our own Geulah. So it applies both ways. Ein legula b'gashmios, vein legula b'ruchnios. The redemption of gashmios, material things, and also spiritual things. Shakol b'kivui, everything is in hope. Hatzfia legula, expecting the Geulah. Hamuna v'abitachon, faith and trust. Sheyesh liyehudi b'Hashem Yisborach shemikocham hu mamin u'makaveh. That a Jew has the power to believe and trust in Hashem and to hope through that zemamshich es hagula, that will bring the Geulah. V'chein haShabbos Kodesh bichlal hakol bikuvi. The Holy Shabbos is also that generation of hope. K'mon Bezemer Ya Echsof, one of the mirrored songs we sing on Friday night. Those of us who are fortunate to remember the nigun, which I never do. Shomor, Shomrim U'Matzapim, Shabbos Kodecha. We observe and we hope for the Holy Shabbos. Ka'ayol ta'arog alafike mayim. Just like a ram is yearning for a riverbed of water. Just like the ram wants this riverbed of water. Kain nafsham tarog elecha lekabel noam Shabbos. So too, our soul is longing and yearning for the pleasure of Shabbos. Hamitachtas b'shem kodecha, that is unified, makes us all unified in your holy name. Binyanu dehine Omer Chazal, and our sages say in Gemara Shabbos, Matana tova yeshli b'beit garazi. I have a wonderful gift in my treasure house. B'Shabbos Shema, and Shabbos is its name. Binyan matana hi, and the aspect of why this Shabbos is called a gift. Shenitna b'li temura. This gift is given without any strings attached. Even though we're not fitting and we're not ready for it, this gift is ours. Everyone's to take. No strings attached. Just observe Shabbos. Enjoy Shabbos. Have the joy of Shabbos as part of your life. This means the powers from below. The power that you can continue this present is the power of hope. Because you're observing and you're expecting the Holy Shabbos. As Kedushas Shabbos, just by expecting Shabbos, going through every day, as we do in the davening every day, we have the daily, the Yom, the specific psalms for each day, and they all begin Hayom Yom Rishon b'Shabbos. This is the first day of Shabbos. Hayom Sheni b'Shabbos, second day of Shabbos. Recognizing, hoping for Shabbos every day. So even though you're not really fitting for its holiness, everything is with hope. Something else we can say about this pasuk. Moran Admar, he says, if a Jew needs salvation, and he asks for this, he prays for this many, many times, and it doesn't seem like he's answered. Yesh eitz avoro, there's advice for him. V'hosef b'lashon hakodesh, and it adds in the holy words, eitza kashav od, a very hard advice, difficult advice. She is salek miatzmo as kol nogei elav. He has to separate himself from everything that's material and things connected to him. V'yirakesh rak avod Yevakish rak avor tzara shchina. He should ask only that the pain of the presence of God should be yochel imo anochi b'tzora v'chol tzorasam lo tzor. We should ask that the pain of God, who is found with us in every difficulty and in every difficult situation, we're praying that God should not have this pain anymore. Not that we shouldn't have it, but that God shouldn't have the pain. As we say in Mizmor LeDavid, Gam ki elech b'geit salmovas lo ira ki atu imadi. Translated normally as, yea, though I walk in the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil because you are with me. But if you read it, Gam ki elech b'geit salmovas. If I walk in the valley of the shadow of death, lo ira, I won't be afraid. Ra, what's bad about this though? Is ki atu imadi, that you, Hashem, are down here suffering with me, right? Ra ki atu imadi. And that's what he's saying here. When you get to the point where you're saying your prayers aren't answered, then you got to turn and say, Hashem, I don't want it for me, I want it for you. I know you're suffering with me. You know, like we ask on Tisha B'Av that we should end the homelessness of God. Give him a home in this world. Pray to God. Ask that for God. And he says, he goes, Shayadei shemavakesh rak al hatzar, because since you're only praying for asking for God's troubles to leave, al hatzar hazeh hanigram kivyochel amala. It will, your prayers will go up. Harezeh mamshich es Yeshua, and this will bring the salvation. Lehoshua b'chol tzrachav, to bring salvation in all of your own needs. As we say in Hallel, Lo lanu Hashem, lo lanu. It is not for us, Hashem, not for us. Ki l'shimcha tein kavod. But it is only for your name that we give mercy. The kai ala Geulah atida, and that's referencing to the future redemption. Shigam kasher anu mavakshim al Geulah atida, as we are asking for the future redemption. Einenu mavakshim avor atzmeinu, we're not asking for ourselves. Ela rak avor Yeshuas HaKadosh Baruch Hu, just for the salvation of God. Avor hatzar shenigra lamala mizeh sheshchinta begulas. It's the pain that is above this, where the very presence of God is in exile. V'zeh mamshich es hagula, and that hope, that prayer, will bring about, will bring about the redemption. This is what Yaakov said with this pasuk. I'm waiting for your salvation, for you to be saved. Yeshua's HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the salvation of God, so to speak. Kasher hakivui hu li'shuatcha, like as the hope for your Geulah, your salvation. Kishechinta begalusa, because we know that you God are in galus, you're in exile with us. V'chal tzarasa lo tzar, and all of the tsar, the difficulties of Bnei Yisrael, you're with us in that pain. You're suffering with us. Let's ask that you no longer have to suffer. Get rid of your suffering. We want you to get rid of your suffering, and that will bring the redemption. Also the language of prayer. For your salvation, I prayed, I hoped every day, and I expected salvation. This is expecting the salvation of God Himself. Gamas Divrei HaMidrash and Nizkar, and we can understand include in this the words of the Midrash that we learned, Hakol b'kivui, that everything is dependent on hope. Shemaruma is l'kivui hazeh, at this kind of a hope. When you hope, umavakshim rak al hachelek shel hatzar lamala, when you focus only on the pain that must be happening with God, the pain above, because God is with you in your pain, you will then move forward all the aspects of bringing a redemption, because everything depends on hope. Kavel Hashem, hope in God. Don't be disturbed. Don't give up because God doesn't answer you right away. Go right away to Kavel Hashem. Keep hoping in Hashem. No prayers go to waste. Thank you all for joining. Any questions before I turn off the live? All right.